So everyone talks about AI-powered teams these days, but how is it actually looks like from inside a real engineering organization? Today we will talk about this with Máté Kapéter, principal engineer, and András Somlai, engineering manager at Diligent at their Budapest office. Hi, Máté and András. Could you please introduce yourself and what are you doing at Diligent?
Hi, my role as an engineering manager at Diligent is to understand processes and making sure that the collaboration is seamless. I have to oversee who does what and how they can collaborate even more effectively.
Hi, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here. My role as a principal engineer is to understand firstly the business problems and the value that they deliver, so I can efficiently help to the engineering teams to find the right technical solution. And as a side effect, we have a great chance to enable teams how to use AI agents efficiently in their daily life and work.
What kind of products are you building here at Diligent, and what is an average engineering day looks like for you?
So Diligent is an AI-powered GRC platform that helps organizations clarify risk and elevate governance.
And we are utilizing AI not only during the software development itself, but we are adding AI capabilities to our products.
Okay, and how is it looks like an every day for your engineering team here?
As an engineer at Diligent, it's all about collaboration, not just with the other software engineers, but also with product managers and UI UX designers. And as we are heading towards the era of the AI native engineering, the collaboration also involves AI more and more.
Okay, you are talking about hybrid teams, hybrid engineering teams with humans and AI. So what does that look like in real life? How we can imagine it?
How teams are composed hasn't changed that much, but the tools we are using has changed a lot. So the output of the team has to be the same, a high quality, reliable software, if possible delivered quickly. But the tooling has changed a lot, and now the engineers, UI UX designers and product managers also use several AI tools that speeds up the delivery.
Okay, but if a total newcomer would just join Diligent today, how he will experience or she will experience this? It looks like that, okay, you have like two Johns in the team, one Máté and two AI bots, or how does it looks like?
When a new joiner joins to Diligent, on the onboarding day, there is a cafe with the manager named Event. That's the first time when they meet with AI, because it's so deeply in the culture that even at the beginning of the onboarding process, it's already mentioned. And during the everydays then, they will meet with multiple tools. They are not necessarily named yet, but tools like Cursor, Cloud Code are deeply integrating into our daily workflows. And what might be new for our newcomers is how frequently we use on these tools and how deeply they are integrated to the everydays.
Let's talk about the first experiences. So you implemented some AI tools in your workflow. What works instantly and what was the setbacks at the beginning?
Oh yeah, I remember those times. I think everyone made these early mistakes when you're in experimentation phase. How these tools are actually working, because back then, 2 years ago, this was something that was totally new to everyone. So you weren't able to just like open up your favorite blog posts and read best practices there or see common patterns. Everyone was just tinkering around. Even the terminologies of vibe coding and all of these things weren't even invented yet. Not invented, but described yet. So everyone was trying out these tools, and of course everyone misused the tools, and we had the chance to really try these tools out, and we learned both from our mistakes and successes how to use these tools effectively.
Maybe do you have a funny story or a story you shouldn't tell us about this?
I think this is a story that possibly everyone made. So when you first seen your YouTube video that someone created a 10 million ARR application in 10 minutes with vibe coding, of course you are curious, but how would that actually function? So you just let the AI, okay, let's write this application. And of course it will create something that is, of course, unmaintainable, even understandable for humans. So it's just generated a big pile of code. And yes, it was good for a learning experience. So you can show something that is a bad example because you lost all the capabilities that the engineering team needs to deliver something that can be iterated and further extended, because that was just wasted time.
Okay, and what about today? So you are using AI in every life cycle in the programming, like coding or debugging or tracking. How is it looks like today?
I would say we are getting there. We have an SDLC, software development lifecycle, with specific milestones, things where we do have to define inputs, some work, and then some output. And we are trying to integrate AI agents and tools into this workflow. The entire SDLC covers everything from software development to understanding the business unit vision. So project managers, QA engineers, UI UX designers, software engineers, we are trying to identify and integrate AI tools that helps all their works while we keep all these people accountable and we provide them all the opportunity to stay in control.
Okay, and can you just walk us through a real life experience where AI and humans work together in a problem?
Yes, let's focus on the delivery of a specific ticket. So let's assume that we do have a well-defined Jira ticket, which an engineer has to implement and the QA has to test it. So at first, the engineer can read and understand the ticket, but AI helps with that, can write some summaries. And then based on the ticket and the source code as a context, AI can generate an implementation plan. This can be, for example, a markdown file, which describes how that specific task can be implemented. Once this is done, the engineer can review this artifact, and if they decide that it's good enough, then another AI agent can do the actual implementation. So implementation plan done, implementation done. Now time to code review. There are AI tools for code reviews as well, such as Bugbot and CodeRabbit. So AI wrote the code, AI reviewed the code, but at the end, we still have engineers to ensure the quality. This is how people are staying in control. And once the engineer has approved the pull request, it goes to QA. And based on the Jira ticket, the QA can generate the test cases, which can be stored in the Jira ticket or other frameworks such as Zephyr. And then another AI agent can automate those test cases, in my team, in Playwright.
Okay, it's good to hear that you still have like real flash engineers in the process and not just everything by AI. Are there any fields that you don't use AI and you won't use in the near future?
People have to stay in control. Of course, we don't let AI into customer data, so that's very strictly regulated here. But during the development, we are looking for ways how we can enable AI while staying in control. So no specific area during the SDLC where we don't let AI to join us as a team member.
Okay. Now let's talk about the human and cultural aspect of this. So when you implemented the AI at the company, what was the first reaction from the team? Was it welcoming or just afraid of it, or how was it?
Everything. Diligent is a big company. We had people who were afraid, we had people who just denied, we had people who were super excited. But what mattered is to have an open discussion about AI, the fears, the possibilities. And thanks to that joint openness from the people who are enthusiastic about the AI and openness from people who are more skeptical about them, we managed to bring these people closer together. And we are managing to integrate AI better and better into our daily workflow. We are not at the end of the journey yet, but we are ahead of the average companies.
Okay, thanks. Let's talk about the fear part, because everyone is interested in that part. What was the most common fears that you faced from your colleagues?
I could highlight two fears. The first one is the fear of losing your job. That's all around the IT industry. And the second is how humans are going to stay in control. it's still the engineer's responsibility that the delivered output is high quality. But if that's generated by the AI, then it was a question, how can I stay in control? How can I take responsibility for this? These were the two main fears.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that with this new hybrid team setup, the developers has to learn some new skill set for this. What are those skills that you have to learn?
Yeah, well, this is a new area for everyone. So everyone needs to learn the core foundations of how these things are working, because these AI agentic systems rely on these foundational models that learn to mimic us. But if we don't know the weaknesses that was also learned and mimicked by these things, then it can bite us back. So first of all, the most critical thing is to know how these things are working and where to utilize it. So everyone will see new techniques week by week. So it is also a skill that they need to pick up, that how they can adopt these new ways of using AI into their workflows. So quick adoption is also a key thing.
Okay, and has AI changed team culture or how teams are collaborating with each other?
So team culture hasn't changed that much. As we talked about it, the team composition hasn't changed that much. It's the tooling what changed. Of course, in some cafe breaks, out of fun, we involve an AI voice assistant just for fun and asking its opinion from this and that. That's a real life example, actually happened. But we have the team buildings like before. We have the problems like before. What we are trying to do is to be more effective with the problems that we are facing with at every days.
What about mentoring? So I would assume that it's easier for me to ask an AI chatbot about something than just go for a mentor and have these mentorship sessions. So is that changed anyway, the mentorship within the company?
Yeah, so I think the whole concept changed significantly. So those juniors that are arriving, one of the most useful skill for them is to how to use AI effectively. And it's not only for the juniors. I'm sure that those who are at university now, they're also utilizing these techniques, because AI is not judgmental. You are not wasting someone's time. So you can ask all the questions, so that pressure that is sometimes on the juniors, that I have a fear that I don't want to ask these questions, I don't want to bother that person, kind of vanishes. But of course, you need someone who can mentor you and teach you how to use these tools to broaden your knowledge and really utilize it. And of course, since AI has a tendency to hallucinate and to make things up and is a tendency for factual fabrication, we need someone who can like spot those things. Also, mentoring can go towards more like knowledge collection that can be digested in your own pace as a junior. So you have that capability also now.
It's good that you mention juniors. My next question would be that what is the difference between junior and senior? Which group can adapt more easily the new AI tools? Which group is struggling more with them?
Yeah, here the play field is even. So everyone is on the same level, no matter if you are junior or senior, in terms of what is the latest and shiniest AI technique that you can utilize. But the core difference is your already existing knowledge. So seniors can easily spot whenever something could go sideways, whenever they are collaborating with the AIs. So learning to be skeptical is something that is there for the juniors. So they need to learn that skill. For the seniors, they have rather sometimes muscle memory to do things, and for them it's additional work to adapt to this new workflow. So it's a give or take on both sides.
Can you measure somehow that with the AI tools, how more efficient are the workflows, or less waste, or more time? Do you have any numbers to share?
Yeah, so I think it's not about the numbers. Yes, everyone is eager to see numbers, and I think it's a good feedback that at least you have something that you want to measure. But it's really hard to measure the right things. So in the current days, we can still measure the same things that we measured previously, like delivery velocity and these things. But the complexity of the problems that we can solve nowadays is totally different that we were able to solve in the same amount of time, let's say 2 years ago. So measuring should be also factor in the complexity of the things that we can solve, because many cases now we have the chance to solve the problems in a different way. So we are spending majority of the time in designing and finding the right solution, where engineers are actually in leadership position because they are handing over the micromanagement of the code to the AI agents.
Okay, but don't you just feel, guys, that you can, or you are working a lot more nowadays within the same time frame? Let's say within a working week, you can just do much more work, much more tasks with the AI, or is it's like the same?
I see the biggest benefit, but it's something that is more personal based on my role also, that I spend majority of the times also in meetings. But if you start your day by understanding the problem and coming up with a proposal, you quickly see even multiple versions of the discoveries where you can utilize AI. When you want to discover multiple options to solve a problem, that's also super beneficial there. So yes, there is an actual gain there in terms of efficiency. But on the other side, we need to set up processes correctly, because you just can't let AI roam around and do things, because actually we are still the ones who are responsible for the actual code, the artifact that is generated. So we need to have those controls in place.
If we are talking about speed or quality, has AI changed the speed of delivery, or has any effect on the quality of the end product?
The speed has already slightly increased. We would like to increase it even more, and that's achievable as AI usage gets more and more muscle memory for the teams. The quality hasn't really changed, which is an achievement considering that the main concern about AI-generated code is dropping in quality. I highlighted the importance of staying human in control multiple times already. This is how we achieved that the speed has slightly increased, but the quality didn't drop, because engineers were always there to make sure that the artifact is good enough.
And if you are looking back for this 2 years journey implementing AI, do you have any advice that what kind of pitfalls should others watch for, or where are the biggest pitfalls in this implementation?
My general recommendation would be that you need strong foundations, both in terms of specifying the domain that you are working with and how to actually do that, and also having strong guardrails that András also highlighted, that we need humans to be in control. So whoever just starts this journey, make sure that you have a workflow where you can involve humans to be the decision makers, and keep in mind that is also a common pitfall, that we still have that tendency to stick with the generated code and we want to iterate on that. Now time has changed, and the key actual outcome of these discoveries and plans is the actual specification and the plan, and you can just regenerate the actual code that is the artifact. So if I need to add something new, I'm going back to the specification. I'm iterating on that first and then generating the code.
Okay, now let's play a little guessing game. So if we are in 3 or 5 years from now, how do you see an engineer at that time? What would be changed from now?
I'm sure that engineers will adapt, because they always adapt to the certain scenarios. So if they need to pick up a new language skill, they can pick this up. So I think we will be advanced in terms of the capabilities of these tools, or like how long an AI agent can actually work alone in terms of these tasks. So they will think more holistically and the plans that they need to oversee possibly will be more complex. Hopefully, we will have the proper tooling also to do that. Yeah, I think that's my...
What about engineering managers?
I believe there will be a shift in the roles. So engineering will be much more about solving problems than writing code. Even today, I see engineers' job to solve problems, and the tool that they use to solve the problems is the source code. But now it won't be just the source code, but it will also be AI. And to work effectively with AI, they have to be even better at delegation, describing requirements, strategies, workflows. And I believe engineers will be much better with those than they are today.
Okay, thank you guys. That's a lot to think about. Thanks for your time. That was all for today, and see you next time.